If you love garlic, you are going to love this sauce. Like, I promise you, you will love this. I am going to be using my homegrown garlic. This is some of the harvest that I had from this past summer. I planted it. You plant garlic before the winter and have it be in the ground over winter. So this has been like a long time in the making. I harvested these just before our frost, like our winter season. I didn't make it wasn't in any of my videos on this channel, but I did get like a decent amount of harvest. I've used some garlic cloves for cooking, but to be honest, I have a hard time using garlic in my everyday, or garlic that I grow specifically. I use the Costco like already diced up garlic that comes in like this big jug, and that's honestly because I don't like to cut things. Like, knives make me very uncomfortable. I can't even watch people like on cooking shows or in any movie. If there's like chopping involved, I have to look away because in my mind I'm just thinking any second now they're gonna cut themselves, or I'm thinking how many times did they cut themselves while they were filming this? It's like a horror movie for me watching somebody chop. So anyways, I have a bunch of these that I've just been storing in the garage where it stays cool, not freezing, and it stays dark. And I figured it's about time to use some of it. Brendan's getting a little annoyed at how much stuff I'm keeping in the garage, or like there's dirt on almost everything that I have there in the garage, so there's a lot of dirt in that little closet that I use. Anyways, all that to say, I'm about to make this garlic sauce that you're gonna really love. If you love garlic, you're gonna absolutely love this sauce. I used to eat this when I was younger, so for a period of time I lived in the Middle East, and this is a Lebanese sauce called Toum. There is this one like fast food place that did fried chicken, and they had like garlic sauce that came with every order. It was like more processed garlic sauce, but it was amazing. And so I was super excited when I remembered this sauce, when I rediscovered it, which, yeah, I have to say, as like an aside, I've been trying to get more into like Middle Eastern food and Arab cooking. I am Arab. I don't look it very much. It's not something that I like, I don't know, is very apparent about me, I guess. I'm trying to think of, yeah, the right way to say this. I've just like been, but lately, especially like in today's climate with what's been going on, a lot of racism out there. I mean, there always is, right? But it's just truly terrifying at the moment. For a lot of people, a lot of different minorities even, but particularly I think for Arab people, like the kind of, it seems like very popular rhetoric that's going on, that really has been going on for many years. I'm tearing up just like talking about it or thinking about it. All I want to say is that I hope, you know, we get better at this. This country gets better about seeing people as people and like not standing by extremely violent, extremely racist rhetoric against like a whole people, especially when it's against a country. You know, if there are people out there that are trying to convince you that this whole country people are barbaric, this whole, you know, group of people are subhuman in any way or like animals, that's obviously a red flag. That's obviously racism. There's, yeah, a lot of just violent motivation behind that. So please be good. Please treat other people like people. Know that everybody is just trying to live and love and find peace in their life. So with that, I am gonna start making this. The first thing that I have to do is just open up these cloves of garlic. They're still dirty. I'm gonna have to wipe off this counter. And they're not very big, each clove of garlic that I have. It probably only has like 1 or 2 cloves, or maybe small cloves. I'll have the recipe down in the description, or like the proportions that you'd want if you're gonna recreate this. And don't judge me for not having these garlic cloves like all prettily braided up. I grow hardneck garlic because we have a very harsh and very cold winter here in Alaska. So hardneck survives a lot better. I did try and go soft neck, but it just did not grow as well. I think, yeah, I don't know if I even harvested any. They might have all died. It was like half of my bed of garlic. Anyways, these store really well. They are, yeah, but it's just like a harder time braiding them because as its name implies, they have hard necks. There's this big hard stem right in the middle of the clove. So you can see it goes all the way down, and around it is like one layer typically of the bulbs, the garlic cloves, the cloves, not the bulbs. Okay, I'm trying to guess how much this is all gonna be. I'm not aiming to make a lot because I'm gonna be traveling next month, and the sauce does store for up to 2 months in the fridge, but just to be safe, I'm not gonna make too much that I would have to throw away. I could also like confit these garlic cloves. That's another way I was thinking of using them. Maybe this is enough. Okay, let me clean up. I'll be right back. Okay, I have these cloves of garlic. Most of them still have like the papery skin on them, and one way to easily like peel them, because it gets kind of tiresome doing it just all by hand, is pour some warm water over top of it. Soak them in warm water for a little bit. Oh gosh, I hope this isn't too warm. And the skin should all just come off so much easier after you do this. It's a little bit less messy, a little more time consuming if you happen to have warm water on hand. I boiled some water beforehand, or I heated some water up in a kettle beforehand, so that was quick to do. I don't have to wait for that to get warm. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly go through this. Okay, here are the cloves that I ended up with. You could probably also, if you didn't want to do it the way I did, just smash the cloves with a knife. You don't need these intact and then peel it off that way, but I, again, do not like knives. I'll avoid them anytime I can. I have about a little over half of a cup. Sorry if you hear pitter patter, it's the dog just walking around the kitchen. He gets a little excited every time I'm speaking, thinks something's going on. So I have a little over a half a cup. I'm probably only going to use a half of a cup actually. Let me get rid of some of these cloves. I did peel a little bit more, and if you do end up with more cloves than what you're trying to use, just freeze them. They will lose a little bit of pungency, your garlic cloves, if you freeze them, but it should be fine. It'll still keep in the freezer a lot better than it will just like peeled and exposed like that. Okay, now to put it together, I'm gonna be using like a little, what is it called? A magic bullet blender, like a Vitamix. You can use an actual blender, and it might be easier to use that while you're actually pouring the oil into this. So I'm just gonna add my half of a cup. I'm gonna add salt to it as well. You do want to use kosher salt for this. I don't have any, so I'm just using my Himalayan sea salt. And I'm gonna start like pulsing this and blending it a little bit. And then slowly, like every now and again, I'm gonna add in an oil. I'm gonna use avocado oil. It can be any neutral oil, so canola, vegetable oil, and lemon juice to it, which actually I should get this juiced. And because I have a half a cup of garlic cloves, I'm gonna be putting like 3 times the amount of oil. So I'll use 1.5 cups of avocado oil. And I'm gonna use half of the amount of garlic in lemon juice. So of half a cup, I'll use 1/4 cup of lemon juice. Okay, now I have 1/4 cup of lemon juice, and it was about like a whole lemon for me, depending on how good you are at juicing and how juicy your lemon is. So I'm actually just gonna put that to the side. Measure out some olive oil or some avocado oil. You don't want to use olive oil because that will give a different taste to your sauce at the end. And you just want to add in like a couple of teaspoons at a time. If you're using a food processor, just slowly drizzling it in is a good idea. I'm just gonna, you know, pulse, then add some in, and alternate between adding in the olive oil and the lemon juice. Okay, and you do want to be careful with it and not add too much olive oil at once because you want this to be an emulsion and you don't want it to break, which is when they end up separating. The oil and whatever else is in there ends up separating. I think I might run out of avocado oil, but I do have some more vegetable oil that I'll use if I run out. And this is a good example of what the emulsion should look like. And once you have done like the first few tablespoons of oil and you've emulsified that and it's looking okay, you can increase the speed at which you can increase the amount every time you pour in a little bit more. Okay, I think this is it. Things have gotten pretty oily as I've been pouring it, so I need a towel to help me with this. I don't know how well you can see that on camera. Yeah, so I think this is it. Let me give it a little taste. Yeah, it tastes great. You really get a kick of garlic in there. I am gonna clean up. I think I might need to add a little bit more salt, so you can taste it at the end, see if what you need to add, more salt, more lemon juice. Okay, yeah, mine for sure needs a little bit more salt. I didn't add enough in the beginning. And then I could mix this around a little. I think I'm gonna pulse it a little bit more. 1 second, my dog needs to come in. Okay. So I'm just gonna stir it in a little bit and also scrape the sides down at the bottom of this. So if there are any bigger chunks of garlic down there, it'll be worked in, and hopefully, well, I pulse it again, it'll all get emulsified. Oh, much better. It tastes really good. Okay, we have some baked chicken leftovers from yesterday. I'm gonna take that out and see how it goes with this. Okay, I cut up a little chicken for myself and just put it right over it. I would eat this with flatbread or naan, but we're out at the moment. I have some tortilla that I'm gonna use and really just, I don't know, make a wrap. I wish I had more salad vegetables. Maybe I'll ask Brennan to bring some home on his way. It's seriously so good. It is very, like, spicy from the garlic a little bit. I don't know what word to use to describe it. Like, it's very garlicky, which I really like. Like, that's the kind of punch that I need from my food, especially when I have something a little bit on the blander side, like just baked chicken. I mean, it has some seasonings on it, but we're trying to cook a little bit healthier this year. The sauce does have a lot of oil in it, so it's not the healthiest, but it is like a good bit of flavor if you just like moderate how much you're putting on your meal. And it's great that it is so punchy because you really don't need a lot of it. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but if you wanted to, yeah, be on the more healthy side, not so much. There are a few ways. If you like garlic, but you're not so in love with garlic like I am, there are a few ways to make this a little less punchy. So one is before you start cooking it, to soak your cloves, your garlic cloves, in icy water. If you soak it for like an hour or two, it lowers the pungency of that garlic. Also, it does get less garlicky, less pungent garlic over time. So this stores in an airtight container for up to 2 months in the fridge, and over time it is going to get less pungent. So you could just wait a little while for this to sort of lose its like kick. But I personally love it. I think this turned out really great, really tasty. I hope you try it if you like garlic. Okay, also let me tell you how this would go really amazing with food. I'm not eating fried chicken right now, just, yeah, as I said, trying to be healthier this year. But having this with fried chicken, if you're making any kind of fried chicken sandwich, or even like a grilled chicken sandwich, you need to put some of this in it if you like garlic. It's amazing, and it will make that sandwich so much better. Believe me, it truly will. Like, you don't even need cheese when you're eating this. I know it's like a little blasphemous to say. Don't tell Brendan that I told you. He loves cheese and he's offended if I don't put cheese in any of his meals, anything that I cook. But yeah, seriously, like, this just makes everything better. I don't know if you can eat it with red meat. I never have had it with red meat, I guess, but I'm sure it'd go great. If you have garlic with your red meat, I'm sure this would go well. I'm glad that I got to share this with you. Let me know if you try it and you like it. It really is, like, I don't know, a blast from the past for me. I'm so glad I rediscovered this recipe. And now I'm gonna clean up this mess that I made in the kitchen, wash my hands. I feel like it has oil all over it. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. And Chugach being a good dog, just on the floor. No garlic sauce for him. I usually do give him a lot of my food. Maybe that's not a great thing, but he cannot have garlic. Garlic is super bad for dogs. Actually, yeah, don't lick me. I hope I don't have any on my hands. No garlic for the dog, unfortunately. Very bad for you. He's so good.